Welcome to Game 3 of the Starcross Cup Championship. This one is, of course, going to be Vivix and ZarkCloud as mixed allies here in the south versus mixed Axis, Dusty and Honeynuts in the north of Rails and Metal. This could potentially be Vivix and ZarkCloud's last game here, so they're going to need to win this and 2 more games in succession to have any chance of winning the tournament. We'll see what strategy they bring to the table. I am honestly and legitimately surprised to see Vivix continuing to choose U.S. forces. It looks like he is determined to make this work.
You got a rifle squad waiting for orders. Engineer standing by.
Combat engineers moving to grab the strategic points here in the south. Riflemen making their way up towards the fuel here on the right.
Steady up.
We also have rear echelon troops making their way into this house, it looks like. Meanwhile, here in the north, Pioneers moving down for the strategic point. More Grenadiers being moved up to support. Second squad of Grenadiers, third squad of Grenadiers being produced. Meanwhile, Vivix getting his third squad of Riflemen. Over here on the left, we have pretty hard push for the left side. Definitely not intending on double teaming either side as the Axis. They're going to spread themselves out, see what their opponents are going to do, and then maybe concentrate their forces thereafter. Nobody taking either munitions point yet. This one about to fall to the Combat Engineers over here on the left. SWS half-track, just kind of scouting around, I guess. Not sure what he's intending to do with it just yet. Volks Grenadiers are going to encounter these Combat Engineers, going to engage them from range. Stern Pioneers grabbing the victory point. Meanwhile, back over here, it looks like we will have a bit of a double team by the Allies to take the right side. Sniper moving up to support these Riflemen, taking shots at those Grenadiers. And it looks like we're actually going to have a second sniper from ZarkCloud, so he's going straight into 2 snipers, nothing else yet. Meanwhile, on the right side, Combat Engineers finish taking the munitions point. Volks Grenadiers moving down to counter. Stern Pioneers moving up to support as well. And a battle group headquarters is going up in a pretty conservative position here in the back. Looks like snipers moving up to continue taking shots at Grenadiers. There is a Kuba wagon on the field from Dusty. It's going to be moved up to support against these guys.
Incoming fire! Point secured! Target that infantry!
Combat Engineers trying to circle around the Kuba wagon there. They were not successful. Kuba wagon will be fine and continue its reign of terror here in the middle. Combat Stern Pioneers and Volks Grenadiers moving up. Oh no, there goes ZarkCloud's full Combat Engineer squad. And I've commented before on Vivix and ZarkCloud's strategy of double teaming double teaming one side on Rails and Metal. I don't know if I think it's a great idea.
We're getting chewed up here!
But at least they're double teaming the easy side rather than the hard side this time around. I'm liking their game with All Stars. Trying to make it work.
Down, under attack! Hostile fire! Hostile fire!
Kuba wagon pulling back. Snipers moving up to try and take shots. Riflemen screening. Strategic point will be falling to the Allies, and we have a heavy concentration of Axis forces here in the center. Snipers firing at the machine gun team, it looks like. Pulling back a little bit, don't want to get caught in the open road. Machine gun's also retreating. We have a second machine gun hitting the field. These Grenadiers circling around towards the left to help defend the munitions, I suppose. Mines going down. We also have the Kuba wagon getting repaired. Volks Grenadiers up to support. Conscripts are making their way towards the middle. And we also have some harassment of the right side by this machine gun, I think, of all things. So that's interesting. Snipers taking shots, dropping models in the ice like a slizzer. Like a Blizzard. Getting Slizzard. I'm referencing the song Like a G6 for those of you that haven't caught on yet. LMGs being upgraded on these Grenadiers.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here! Orders incoming!
Pathfinders on station and ready for action. Heavy truck, ready for orders. Ready.
Kuba wagon taking shots at these conscripts in the shed. More conscripts moving up to fire on these Volks Grenadiers. Trying to break suppression from the Kuba wagon. Meanwhile, snipers are going to try and move up to take shots. Or no, they're just sort of sitting here. Nice, nice dodge. Does dodge Dusty's grenade there. Moving across this field. Trying to get in close to that Kuba wagon. Snipers moving up closer to the wall to take shots on the Stern Pioneers. 1 down, 2 down. Heavy casualties there, and the Kuba wagon's going to be forced to make a quick retreat. Meanwhile, on the right side, Honeynuts is making a push for the victory point. Vipix has brought Pathfinders and an ambulance in, so he should... Ooh, double Pathfinders! He's gone with his double Pathfinders build this game. Interesting. Does have riflemen firing on the Pioneers that are moving up here. MG42 and double Grenadiers with LMGs moving up to support. Second, the machine gun back here, and Dusty actually was providing an infantry support gun to the right side to support in a pretty forward position. Maybe even accidentally so forward. Looks like he's going to be pulling it back a little bit here. That might have been like a rally point or something. We do have Pathfinders taking shots from their position in the trench, but they're taking heavy damage. Pulling back towards his ambulance for reinforcement. Somehow managing not to be suppressed yet. Ooh, what happened there? Looks like a nasty grenade just killed a bunch of conscripts, and they're going to be forced away. Volley fire going out on the Grenadiers from those rear echelon troops. Riflemen in green cover behind this car doing what they can. Pathfinders also moving up to take more shots, hoping for lucky sniper crits, but Dusty's infantry are moving up to support here as well. Fortunately, Zarcloud does have his snipers in range to support. He could wipe that Stern Pio squad if it doesn't retreat. There it goes. Might get a lucky shot. Nope. He's going to be able to get clear. Infantry support gun continues to fire on the American infantry blobs. Pathfinders continue to take shots on that machine gun. They may be able to finish it off, in fact, if they stay in green cover, but they actually just got pushed out of green cover by the ambulance. Oh, devastating mortar shot. He's just sitting here pinned, taking mortar fire. What is he doing? I think he's waiting for Zarcloud snipers to get in range to support. Now he has to pull back with his Pathfinders. Things are pretty tough over here on the left side, but that being said, it looks like some harassment is happening over on the right side, but harassment is happening on the left side. Pathfinders are also going to take that machine gun down, I think. Barely escaping alive. There's a mortar half-track, two mortar half-tracks being mobilized by Honeynuts. I guess that's what that was that entire time. Not the standard mortar, but mortar half-track. So he has gone Spearhead Doctrine. And Dusty has gone Breakthrough yet again. No huge surprise there. Especially not on Rails and Metal. Not sure we've seen a game on Rails and Metal without a Jagdtiger yet. Or at least without an attempt for one. Harassment continues in the left. Looks like the captain has killed the Kuba wagon. I think that's what that used to be. No, he has no kills. Well, something killed it. Conscripts continuing to move up the north, or up the center towards the north. Going to be doing some harassment of territory over there, trying to get better fuel control and strategic point control. The Allies have maintained a pretty secure hold on the right side fuel. See if they can maintain that hold under a sustained mortar half-track fire. Zarcloud is actually getting a quick tier 3, so he's probably going to be producing a T-34 and try and hunt those mortar half-tracks down. And Vivix is already producing his major as well. So their fuel control has been sufficient to get some high-tech units, and hopefully they'll be able to utilize those units to hunt down those mortar half-tracks and potentially break through some of these defensive lines. It's actually not currently very much defending the mortar half-tracks. And that machine gun's getting cut down by snipers and pathfinders. Lucky pathfinder crits. I'm not sure it's gonna get away. Just barely. Does manage to survive. Incendiary mortar being fired on the pathfinders, but they got clear a while ago. Rifleman screening up here behind this car. It's taking heavy mortar fire. I have to reposition. In fact, the cover is completely destroyed. Pretty strong anti-infantry presence here on the right continues. Every time a machine gun moves up, it just gets picked off, one model at a time. Dusty Nuts constantly being forced to retreat those. As for the left side, it looks like Dusty has managed to push back all harassment attempts. A flamethrower got burst right there, or maybe that's a Molotov, I'm not sure. Panzer Fusiliers with G43s grabbing the strategic point, while Stern Pioneers grab the victory point.
Squad back to full strength.
Push up, goddammit! Push up!
Mission complete.
Pathfinders firing on Pioneers. But they don't make great screening troops.
Establish defensive line.
Captain moving up to fire on the mortar half-track. He actually connects with one bazooka shell. One shot, one bazooka.
Engaged!
Sniper firing on the Grenadiers in the house. They'll be forced to reposition. Meanwhile, here on the left, Panzer Fusiliers are going to force away some conscripts. Or maybe the conscripts could win this, depending on usage of Molotovs. Grenade going out. Ooh, could have been worse. Dusty retreated, I think, a little prematurely there, but I guess he just didn't want to take any unnecessary model losses. And we actually have PPSH conscripts moving up here on the left side, so Zarkcloud has chosen Soviet Shock Army again. And he's called in the heavy mortar already, probably going to be bringing in some shock troops as well. I don't know, I guess we'll see. So he's got PPSH conscripts being upgraded here. Conscripts will be able to take that left side fuel. Heavy mortar being mobilized over here by Zarkcloud, presumably going to try and use that to crack some of these defensive positions, maybe hit the pack or the MGs. Hitting the pack. Nice opening shot there. Honey Nut's immediately responding by trying to reposition to safety. Heavy damage also going out on that machine gun from Pathfinders and LMG upgraded paratroopers. But it looks like Zarkcloud's harassment on the left got pushed away once again by some Volksgrenadiers and Sturmpyos.
Katyusha now available.
Katyusha hitting the field from Zarkcloud. So that will be... Oh, I thought he went tier 3, but apparently I could have sworn I saw him building tier 3. Maybe he even canceled it.
Infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, there's another crater underneath. He was building tier 3, but he changed his mind and got tier 4. Interesting. I wonder if he was just faking his tech or if he changed his mind last minute, decided that a Katyusha would be more useful than medium armor. I don't know. Katyusha firing. Looks like he fired blind, but he wipes the Pio squad repairing. Oh my gosh, if Honey Nuts doesn't reposition right now, he could risk losing that. Oh, there goes the mortar half-track to a Katyusha barrage. Wow. That was so unlucky for him. Those rockets just landed just right to take him out. Ouch. Meanwhile, Vivix is moving up here on the right with his blob of infantry. There's no machine guns in the area to keep him at bay, and I don't think that Honeynuts Gren squads are going to be sufficient to fight this much stuff. Pathfinders are quite good at range, so he hasn't got much of a problem. Run, Grenadier. There he goes. Hasn't got much of a problem facing off with Grenadiers, even at long range, even with LMG upgrades. Although Dusty already has a Panther. That is a quick Panther. If he were to charge straight for that Katyusha, nothing could stop him from killing it.
Do as commanded.
So
Organize.
I would definitely encourage Dusty to just dive straight behind enemy lines like right now, but instead he's going to use it to support against these conscripts. And I think he's just going to let that Katyusha live. Now that the enemy has spotted the Panther, they're probably going to support it with some. Yep, I think he's lost his window of opportunity now. However, he was able to utilize it.
I can say wholeheartedly, thank God we have such experienced
Panther, ready to move.
Panther continuing to circle around here towards the middle. Rifleman grabbing the central victory point. We also have an infantry support gun firing. Katyusha barrage firing on the mortar half track. Ooh, doing actually quite good damage to the Schwer Panzer head. Oh, that was a Jackson shot. Jackson pulled right up and blasted it. Stood no chance. He's gonna have to pull away from this Panther, although it's in its attempt to crush those riflemen, it's exposing its rear armor to Vivek's Jackson. Oh no. Another devastating shot goes off. Oh, but there is a pack up to support and a Grenadier screen, so the Jackson will be forced back. Won't be able to follow up and try and finish the Panther off, and unfortunately the mortar half-track was abandoned, not destroyed. Oh no, the Jackson just died. Oh, to Dusty's Folks Grenadiers. Oh no, Vivek didn't quite reposition his Jackson far enough back. He was too busy microwing his infantry, and his Jackson just went down to Folks Grenadier fire. That is a shame. Although Zarkcloud may actually be able to destroy the mortar half-track just with the Katyusha barrage, it's still going to be another 30 seconds, 35 seconds before it can fire. Conscripts moving down here. And the heavy mortar actually has only got 4 kills. It is Vet 1. Fragmentation bombs, I think, being dropped on this ambulance. Oh, completely destroyed. Good use of fragmentation bombs to take out that ambulance, but the heavy mortar does barely survive. Unfortunately, now that the ambulance is dead, it can't reinforce. Looks like he's not going to retreat it, though. I'm not sure what he's doing with it. Going somewhere.
Sniper taking fire.
Katyusha barrage is firing in this area, clears the pack, almost wipes a Grenadier squad. No lucky hits on the mortar half-track this time, though. The infantry support gun is cleared, the pack is cleared. Katyusha has had a pretty devastating impact, but there is now a Tiger on the field. A bazooka shot miraculously pierces the frontal armor.
Stuka loaded to go with fragmentation bombs. Pioneers are making orders. Tiger ready.
Up to 2 kills now on that Tiger. I don't think the Allies are quite ready for that, unfortunately. Vivek's Jackson has already died. It's going to be some time, I think, before he brings in another one. His attempts with infantry here not going very well. Running into machine gun fire and heavy tanks. Everything's being forced to make a full retreat. Although there are some conscripts here. Oh, moving up to try and get some AT grenades off, and the Panther hits a mine. So its engine will be damaged. You can't really do anything too aggressive. Once again, though, I think that just letting a Katyusha sit back here behind enemy lines and just continue to fire and build up veterancy can be a bad idea if you don't get in there when you have a window of opportunity to take it out. course, mines and AT grenades and things like that make that quite difficult to do. Grenade goes out, but it doesn't really connect. Zarkcloud moving up with his PPSH conscripts, trying to take the victory point, trying to take control of strategic point. Mortar half-track firing. AT grenades going out on the mortar half-track. Its engine is damaged, but the Schwer Panzer HQ is going to screen, so they won't be able to chase any further. Snipers also moving up here on the left side wall. Meanwhile, on the right side, it looks like Grenadiers are going to take control of the fuel, and Dusty has Obersoldaten moving up to harass, but they're taking heavy damage from these Pathfinders. He's falling rather low, and he has to pull back to avoid getting sniper crits. Losing unnecessary models. The Tiger and the Panther continue to maintain their dominance over the center, though. And it looks like another Jackson is hitting the field, and Vipix is moving his blob up here towards the right side. Taking heavy damage on those Pathfinders, though. Now that his ambulance has been destroyed and he has made no attempt to replace it, he's going to kind of struggle to maintain relevance here in the field. He just has to make his pushes count. Zarkcloud firing his Katyusha. I think he just wiped a squad. I think that was a concentrated barrage, and he wiped something. What are those, Panzer Fusiliers? Or Sturmpyos? I don't know what that is, I can't tell from the smoke, but it's dead now. Nice use of concentrated barrage. Heavy mortar's been reinforced and is making its way back up to the front lines. Allies really struggling to maintain control of fuel and VPs, though. New Jackson moving up. There's also 2 field guns to prevent anything by the Panther there. Nice damage going out on that Panther there, but all the shots are deflecting off of its frontal armor. Jackson shot deflected, all the bazooka shots and rifle grenade deflected. So the Panther will be fine, managing to get back to safety. Meanwhile here, Obersoldaten are pushing away these conscripts, which are going to make their way back towards the center, and we do have some harassment by a minesweeper here on the left side point. We also have paratroopers grabbing the right side fuel. Heavy mortar firing. Katyusha also firing. Somewhere. Here, ooh. Heavy mortar and Katyusha barrage forcing those Grenadiers to make a forward retreat. Machine gun gets cleared. Nice. Lucky rocket there. The Allied infantry will be able to retake the right side. Meanwhile, Zarkcloud moving up with his snipers and conscripts on the left. He needs to be careful what he does with those snipers, though. AT grenades, one connects, one does not. It looks like a Sturmovik strafe is being... Oh, jeez. Called in on everything over here and deals pretty decent damage. Could have been worse, though. Stuka barrage goes out on the AT weapons over here, it looks like. I'm not sure what that Stuka just took out. Heavy mortar was just outside the blast zone, fortunately. Infantry support gun gets a nice shot off on those paratroopers, wiping 3 out of 6 models. Tiger has 7 kills and has not really even sustained any damage. Oh, infantry support gun just wipes that rifle squad. Ouch. Jackson taking shots from max range, getting some nice hits off on that Tiger. The heavy mortar continues to just be devastating. P-47's rocket strafe just got called in on the Panther and Stuka. The planes will prioritize the Panther over the Stuka, though. The Panther's not quite clear of the strike zone, so just gonna keep on taking damage there. Oh, and the rockets wipe the Sturm Pioneers. He really needs to get clear of the strike zone. There he goes. He's taking heavy damage, though. Meanwhile, here in the middle, Obersoldaten are going to really punish these overextended field guns. Oh geez, what was he thinking there? That is not good. I think he really wanted to take out the Panthers, but now I think he just lost both of his field guns. Meanwhile, there's a pretty hard push for the right side continuing. They're actually taking the farm munitions point here. Captain will be forced to retreat. Oh, nasty heavy mortar right there. A Katyusha barrage could spell disaster for Honey Nuts here if he's not careful. They can't fire for a while though. He's got a little bit of time. Heavy mortar is the only real threat, I suppose, but it is at Vet 2. Has 10 kills now. A plane just also landed right here. I don't think that hit anything. Jackson was, like, scary how close the Jackson was, but I don't think that hit him. Heavy mortar continuing. Katyusha barrage also going off. And the Schwerpanzer headquarters goes down to a Jackson shot. Allies are really starting to apply a lot of pressure. They're not out of this tournament yet. Panther has taken heavy damage. Left side is being taken by the Allies. We do have a heavy infantry blob moving up over here. Katyusha's actually firing on the mechanized regiment headquarters. I wonder if he was firing blind or if he wanted to hit the Stuka or what. He probably just assumed that there would be repairs happening in this area and was trying to take out any of the repairing Pioneer units. Did not get any lucky hits though. Stuka barrage going off over here, taking out, I think, nothing. I don't think that hit anything. Maybe this conscript squad? Is that what that is? Conscripts, I guess.
We have fallen to 200 points.
Still, the Allies need to keep the pressure up. Doing well on the right side, particularly, but the two Tigers are a pretty real threat.
Pioneers ready for anything. I have a Tiger to deploy.
Pathfinders are being utilized in conjunction with the Jacksons provide its maximum possible firing range. Good use of Pathfinders for sure to give them sight range, but the Panther is moving in hard to counter. No shots penetrating the Panther's frontal armor, and it is able to get a shot off on the Jackson, forcing a retreat. Jackson continues to take shots here on these Tigers, and another P-40, or no, Sturmovik actually is getting called in. He has the munitions for a P-47, but I guess he decided that was not worthwhile. Sturmovik strafe doesn't really do anything to the Tiger. Grenadiers are moving up here. Pinus needs to be careful about blobbing them like that though. Like one Katyusha rocket could just shut his whole push down. Speaking of the Katyusha, I think that it will be able to fire quite soon. Plane gets shot down over there, doesn't inflict any casualties. Katyusha is ready to fire, but in fact all the Grenadiers just retreated just from a machine gun. Honey Nuts pushes are just getting shut down. Tigers had to pull back for repairs. Grenadiers retreating after accomplishing basically nothing. We do have PPSH conscripts moving up once again to harass here on the left side. The two Tigers and Panther are going to be mobilized to counter. We do have a pretty nasty looking blob from Honey Nuts as well. Katyusha is firing massive damage on the Panther from Jackson fire. Katyusha barrage going off in the area. P-47 strike also being called in, and an anti-tank grenade has damaged the engine on this Tiger. There goes the Panther to sustain Jackson fire. P-47 rocket strike is coming in, but unfortunately it had already acquired that Panther to fire at, and this Tiger was somewhat protected by the building, but it actually takes some pretty heavy damage in the rear, and neither of the P-47s got shot down on that pass either, so if he moves his Jacksons over to the left side to take out that Tiger, I'm not sure they'll be able to stop him from destroying it entirely. It would only take about 2 Jackson shots to the rear, or anywhere, to wipe out that Tiger. It's not able to get clear of the strike zone. The Jacksons are being mobilized to counter. Screening conscripts moving up to give vision. They're circling around. Turrets are rotating. P-47 rockets doing heavy damage to the infantry in the area. One shot bounces. The Tiger does pop smoke. Maybe using attack ground. shot misses. The Tigers continuing to try to get to safety. More reinforcement on these infantry here on the battle group headquarters. Nasty Katyusha barrage just wipes an Obersoldaten squad, almost wiping out these pioneers, and also a Sturmoffizier. These Obersoldaten being forced to retreat. Oh, another Obersoldaten squad got wiped by that Katyusha barrage. Devastating Katyusha barrage right there. Perfectly positioned to inflict maximum damage. There's also an MG34 available to be retaken, and then just look at their forces. They have almost nothing left. 3 Grenadiers, a Tiger, or 3 Grenadiers and 2 Tigers, one of which is heavily damaged. And Dusty has his Sturmoffizier, some Volks, and some Sturmpios, and his Stuka. And the battle group headquarters is about to go down.
He organized it full strength. The battle group headquarters has been destroyed.
And it looks like Sniper just utilized a flare there. Nice use of the flare to give the Jacksons safe vision. They should be able to finish off the Mechanized Regiment headquarters as well. Completely unpunished. Stuka's going to fire here on the left side, potentially trying to do some damage to those Jacksons for the next push. Looks like they are going to be able to get clear though.
We are down to 75 points.
And the Axis now have only 75 points remaining and absolutely no forces with which to make a big push. And it looks like Dusty has just brought in a King Tiger. King Tiger, this is going to be basically their last chance to come back and win this game using their heavy armor, but against massed Jacksons it's not going to be easy, especially with the P-47 Strake at their disposal. Vipix does have two Jacksons at the moment, and massive resource flow by Zarkov, by the way. And he's not pop cap, so I'm not sure why he isn't spending his resources on like something. He could bring in like a zillion tanks, who knows. Heavy push by the King Tiger and 2 Tigers here for the right side. Vipix does have the munitions for a P-47 rocket strafe, but he's not calling it in just yet. All of his infantry is being forced to retreat from this huge blitz of German armor. Jackson continues to kite. The Bet 2 Jackson has gotten some repairs. Nice penetrating shots going off on the rear armor of these tanks, which are just not positioning themselves all that well. What is this King Tiger doing? Stands no chance. Oh, but all the shots are bouncing off its rear armor. The bazooka and a Jackson shot just bounced off its rear armor, but it doesn't matter. The P-47 takes it out. Jackson does go down to this Tiger, but all the frontal shots are penetrating. This gun is also in the area to counter. It pops smoke to try and get clear. Now it has to try and pull back to safety. Meanwhile, P-47 rocket strafe going in on the second Tiger, inflicting massive damage. This one's trying to pull back to safety. It's also extremely heavily wounded. Honeynuts has to be so careful with both of his Tigers. They're both a hair from going down. There goes that one. The second one is going to have to pull back here on the right side. I'm not sure if any allied units are in range to punish. It doesn't look like they are. Oh no, he's still in the strike zone. Abandoned. Oh! And there it goes. P-47 finishes it off and hits a Grenadier as a bonus. But that all-in push was absolutely required just to keep the game from ending. The Axis, in the midst of confusion, did manage to take all 3 victory points and getting a little bit of map control back, but all of their heavy tanks have been destroyed, and it's just a matter of time before the Allied war machine pushes back, takes the victory points, and finishes the game. I don't think there's anything the Axis are going to be able to do at this point. Looks like Zarklad spent some of his resources finally. I'm not sure what on. Shock troops. And he has quite a large army at this point compared to his opponent. I think that Sturmovik just wiped that Grenadier squad. Those Panzer Fusiliers picked up the LMG. It's going to be a desperate battle for the Axis now.
HQ operations now underway.
Stuka firing. Slightly off target, doesn't really inflict any oh, never mind. Got some stuff. Didn't hit these conscripts though, which are grabbing the right side victory point. Meanwhile, the central victory point still remains uncontested. We do have some harassment going for the left side victory point. No tanks to counter. Just Sturm Pios, an LMG-34 and a Sturm Officer. Don't think that that's going to be sufficient to keep away these shock troops, though. Especially not with minesweepers moving up to screen. Yeah, shock troops are tearing those Sturm Pioneers to pieces, and the left side victory point will easily fall to the Soviets. Meanwhile, here in the center, or on the right side, the victory point will fall to the Americans. Apparently, Tiny Nuts made a new Tiger. I didn't even realize he had made another Tiger, and it's already like dead. Yep, easily taken out by those Jacksons. I don't even know what happened there.
Enemy has destroyed a Panzer.
I never even saw that Tiger until it was like dead with a damaged engine. Apparently, it didn't go well. Conscripts grabbing the central victory point. The left side still falling to those conscripts. Smoke grenade going out to make things easier. Meanwhile, this one's about to get turned white and the clock will start ticking once again. And there it goes. 5 points remaining. Shock troops pushing away any attempt by German infantry here on the left. 4 points remaining. Panzer Fusiliers will get into the zone, however, to stop it from being captured. 3 points remaining. This one's still continuing to be captured. 2 points remaining. Central point turns blue. 1 point remaining, and that will be the game. Well played by Zarkcloud and Vivix. They are not out of the tournament yet. We're going to keep things going into Game 4. Stick around. Vivix and Zarkcloud will need to win 2 games to win the tournament, whereas Dusty and Honeynuts will only need to win 1. So Dusty and Honeynuts still have the advantage, but the tournament is not over yet.